like to point out that our health service staff is available in the music tent should anyone require their services at any time today. I would kindly ask that you please set your mobile phones to silent at this time for the ceremony. I would also kindly ask that you please refrain from moving around behind the tent so as not to impede our official videographer and photographer. Finally, I don't want to spoil any surprise, but during the announcement of our paper house winners, you'll know it's coming because the kids will probably start drumming on their laps. There's going to be a big bang. There's no need to panic. This is planned, but we're just warning you because it will sound a bit like a gunshot. And now, without further ado, I would ask if everyone could turn and have a look at our amazing faculty and staff all lined up for our grads. And please stand for the procession of the Lakefield Public School graduating class of 2023. I ask you to please stand as we sing our national anthem of Canada, as well as our school hymn, Jerusalem. Please refer to your closing program to sing along. And the Reverend John Ransa to lead us in our opening prayer and acknowledgement of the land.
God of love, joy, and peace, we thank you for the opportunity to come together this day to celebrate a school year past and to honor these graduates. May the learning they received here in the classrooms, in the houses, on the fields, and throughout their Lakefield lives go with them into the world. May they be inspired to bring peace and joy into the lives of others, and ultimately help to make this world a better place for all. And we give thanks for the land that we share. We respectfully acknowledge that Lakefield College School is located on the Treaty 20 Nipisiguit territory, in the traditional territory of the Nipisiguit and Chippewa nations, collectively known as the Williams Treaty First Nations, which include Curve Lake, Hiawatha, Alderville, Scugog Island, Rama, Wilsaway, and Georgina Island First Nations. Lakefield College School respectfully acknowledges that the Williams Treaties First Nations are the stewards and caretakers of these lands and waters in perpetuity, that they continue to maintain this responsibility to ensure their health and integrity for generations to come.
Please be seated. At this time, I'd like to thank our special guests for their musical performances this morning. So I love today's celebration. I traveled a few steps, literally from my home right there to the podium. I have the world's shortest commute. But some of you have traveled from a distance, and this morning I want to take time to thank those of you who have traveled. So if you have come from outside of Canada to be with us here, could you please stand so we can thank you? Some of you yourselves have graduated from the Grove. If you are an alum, and grad, this will soon include you, but don't stand now. If you are an alum, could you please stand and be recognized? Have at least one third generation family here today as well, which is grandparent, parent, and student. Where are you? Yes, where are you? Friend wide and deep in our 144-year-old school community. And thank you to everyone for being here today to celebrate our students. When the class of 2023 was in grade 9, the world shut down. For those of you who are here at tonight and you left for March break to go home and you never returned to the Grove that year. For those of you who weren't here, many of you described choosing Lakefield because of the challenges you experienced during that time in your lives. All of you sitting here before me experienced the most unusual 4 years of high school, at least since the 1940s, perhaps ever. You wore masks. You took numerous COVID tests and followed strict protocols like house safety status. You were required to maintain rigid schedules, sit in the dining hall with everyone facing the same direction, 2 seats apart. Remember that? You ate in the chapel to comply with distancing and cohort requirements. Some of you even had classes in the chapel. You all experienced table arrangements with plexiglass dividing you from each other. You ate from green takeout containers. Actually, that's one of the things I don't miss. You went to a dance, but remember this, you weren't even allowed to actually dance that night. You greeted each other with one of those, you're not allowed to hug, so we'll give a fist pump to each other. And to mix it up, sometimes you did one of those kicks. You were the one and only class to be bookended by the pandemic. And on this day of celebration, I remind us all that you have been through in your high school years. You've lived through some tough times, constantly living with that fear of more changes, of reverting back to lockdowns and more rules. That was your experience. And this is a group that has now proven that they can work through challenging times. I think it's important to acknowledge this. A week ago, when it was Gladiator Day, and there were air quality alerts from the smoke from wildfires, this class, the class of 2023, adjusted within minutes and figured out a new plan to ensure that everyone could still enjoy a fun, safe day outside, forgetting about the stresses of exams. This is a class that takes steps to make things happen. You demonstrate resilience. You understand what one of our recent grads meant when he said, "We are Lakefield. We are not made of sugar." You are also a class that is unique in the way you celebrate each other. I had one mother share with me that in a world where teenagers can be mean to each other, her experience was that this group of teens is not only kind, but goes out of their way to lift each other up and complement strengths. And I believe the class of 2023 celebrates each other more than any other class. To prove this, I'm going to conduct a little experiment this morning. This is risky because it could go in any direction. And I have never conducted this kind of experiment under the white tent before, but I have faith in this class. So here goes. I think you'll get the answers to this quiz correct. Let's see. Class of 2023. I'm going to test how well you know the accomplishments of your class. I want you to listen carefully. And when you know who I'm describing, I will ask you to state the name. Audience, watch carefully. And as for me, I will now be channeling my best brakeman and then Mr. Gordon. For last year's Ontario Association of Physics Test Contest. As a grade 11 scored the 96th percentile. For this year's same physics contest with 798 writers across the province, as a grade 12 student, this student finished in first place in the grade 12 division and tied with one other student for the top overall score. In the Canadian Senior Mathematics Contest, in the Canadian Computing Competition, and in the Euclid Contest, this student ranked in the top 25% of all contest participants worldwide. And in the American Mathematics Contest, this student ranked in the top 1% of all contest participants worldwide. Who is it? Congratulations, in class of 23, thank you for teaching us to celebrate others. You're a class that is resilient, who celebrates others, but also a class that works hard and understands priorities. The class of 2023 is to be congratulated on receiving over 440 offers of admission from across Canada, the United States, the United Kingdom, and Europe. And while final scholarship details are still forthcoming, as of today's writing, our graduating class have been offered scholarships and other awards totaling, are you ready? Over $2.4 million. Their hard work and academic strength. Our grads have received offers of admissions from top institutions across the globe. You can read all of the details of their destinations in our program and in our parent newsletter, but I want to share a few highlights. This year, my alma mater, Queens, is the top destination overall. McGill University is the school of choice for 8% of the class. 9% are heading to the East Coast, and 4% are heading to the University of British Columbia on the West Coast. Beyond Canada, the US, UK, and Europe remain popular destinations. Our students will attend Boston University, Caltech, Hofstra, Parsons School of Design, Penn State, Rollins, the University of California, and the University of Southern California. Our graduates crossing the Atlantic are heading to IB University, ETHA, University College Utrecht, Amsterdam, St. Andrews, King's College London, and Durham University. This year, 22% of our students are heading into business or commerce, 33 are pursuing humanities or social sciences, and 34% of our grads are heading into STEM fields, 22% science and 12% engineering. And there's a growing interest in the fields of education, architecture, and fine arts, with roughly 10% of our students opting to head directly to these disciplines upon graduation. This year's grads have demonstrated a variety of dynamic interests. Wherever they go, including those who are off for a gap year, we're confident that all of them will embrace not only the academic rigor, but also the unique opportunities that lie ahead, as we are confident that they are ready to embrace this next phase before they go on to make their mark in the world. In short, this is an impressive class. Your class is resilient, it celebrates, it works hard. You're also a class that is generous and understands the need to give back. One of this year's grad parents challenged the class of 2023 to 100% participation in giving back to the growth. We emphasize gratitude here. We have a tradition where through the grad class gift, Grads honor the generosity of our alumni who have helped to build our amazing programs and buildings, which tuition alone does not cover. This year, Mr. and Mrs. Ruparelia offered to donate an additional $10,000 if all of the grade 12s participated in their class gift by making a donation of at least $20.22. Thank you, Rupa and Marcia. We made a pretty calculated bet since the last time a class had 100% participation was in 2018. But as I mentioned before, this class is special. You step up to a challenge, you come together, and in this case, you all chose to give back. So thank you. This morning, I've been asked to bring greetings from the chair of the Board of Governors, Hugh McDonald, class of 1985, parent of 2018 and 2027, and cousin of Monty Bull, class of 1933. He writes, on behalf of the board and the trustees of Lakefield College School, I wanted to add my welcome to this closing ceremony. I'm sorry that I cannot be with you today to send the class of 23 out into the world. You are a special class. You came in grade 9, you arrived in September 2019, fresh and full of optimism and the joys of life at Lakefield. 6 months later, we sent you home. You came in grade 10, 11, and 12. We all experienced COVID in some form or fashion. As a grade and as a group, you brought your strength and your grit, helping each other and the school get through this remarkable time. You taught us adults about resilience and humor and optimism, often all at once and on the hardest days. So thank you again on behalf of the board for all you have done to help the Grove. Godspeed, go into the world, come back early and often. We will greet you with open arms and welcome you back to your home at the Grove. Best wishes on this, your happy day. Thank you. Wagney is an Ojibwe author of 16 books and recognized as one of Canada's foremost First Nations authors and storytellers, wrote this. How to make a dream come true. Don't focus on the dream, or it will always remain a dream. Instead, focus on the first action you can take to bring that dream a little closer, then take it. Now focus on the next action and take that. Each step brings the dream closer to becoming reality. Why? Our elders teach that the dream world and the real world operate on the same energy. You link them through the power of choice. Choose action, and the dream moves even closer to the real. To the class of 2023, thank you for choosing action. Thank you for taking steps to create your own academic success, determining who you are when you are living your best selves. I have 3 hopes for you. I believe that the point of education is not just about receiving a mark or a diploma, it's about learning. Grads, you've gained a lot of knowledge and skills, and most importantly, you've learned about your authentic selves here at the Grove. We know that our teachers and staff care deeply about you. My hope is that you continue to ask good questions, that you invest in learning next year, and you commit to lifelong learning. The world will demand this of you for sure, and my hope is that you love learning. You've made some incredible friendships here at the Grove. These are real people, not screens. The people here under this tent will one day be your old friends. And you know I love the expression that you can't make old friends. So remember this, from here on out, it will take some work to stay connected. You won't be able to just linger in the dining hall or hang out in Upper Hat in the gym, the chapel, theater, house, or SLC. May the friendships you formed here continue, because you made a choice to be intentional and intense about those friendships and staying connected. You may hit some hard times, probably less tough than the pandemic years, but we know that the transition to university or college or gap year can be tough. And you won't bump into your pals in the same way as we do here. That's the beauty of a boarding school. My hope is that wherever you may be in the world, you will always reach out to each other, your classmates. May you stay connected to Lakefield friends for life. And in the words of Michelle Obama, may your friends always be a source of strength, solace, and joy. Our vision as a school is to inspire you to be leaders who care, connect, and contribute. You are ready to follow the examples of Lakefield grads who have come before you, who care, connect, and contribute. You're ready, and you have what it takes to lead your own purposeful lives. In your next steps in life, my hope is that you'll continue to be leaders, to take action, to contribute. Now, parents, family, and friends, I have a hope for you, just one. In a few moments, you will watch your child take a series of steps, of physical steps, right in front of your eyes. These few steps represent the multitude of steps made over the past years. I would ask all of you, every time you hear a name, to think of the individual steps that each has taken to get to today's point, and the steps that they will now take going from here. As they walk across our 10th stage, may you see in the moment all those past steps, the moments of growth, of setbacks and progress, of highs and lows, of fears and tears, and fun and proud moments too. This is life. Take the moment to reflect on their lives. And don't hold back, parents. Let this moment happen. You may even shed a tear. And if you do, remember that this is the water of a life well lived. Now, class of 2023, your future steps begin now. On behalf of all of our staff, we are so proud of you. We're grateful that you were part of our journey here at the Grove. We will miss you. Come back soon, and congratulations. Now it's my further privilege to invite today's guest speaker to address our graduating class. By our very good fortune, our speaker this year is also a parent. His journey is a fascinating one, and the outcome, well, the result of incredible hard work, the support of others, and fortitude, is also that of dreams. Please join me in welcoming LCS parent and Artemis II mission astronaut here.
Good morning, everyone. When Anne-Marie reached out to see if I would speak today, I had reservations. You know, this is about my son and how proud we are of him and what he's accomplished here and growing up. And I thought, how typical of an astronaut to somehow turn his son's graduation into my fighter pilot friend used to joke, you know, the only thing I like more than talking about myself is myself when I'm flying. But I checked with Devin and he said it was okay. And then I gave it a little bit of thought. And I thought, you know, there's a lot of synergy between what I'm doing, the point I'm at in my life, preparing to go on this journey around the moon, and what you're doing, where you are, and what's ahead for you. And I thought, you know, there are a few insights that I could share with you. But I do want to start by just speaking about you, specifically, Devin. We're just so proud of you and the man you have become during your time here at Lakefield. It's incredible. And to all the grads, I want to spend a little bit of time just reflecting from the perspective of the guests here today. I just want to speak on our behalf, because all of you, the students, the grads, the staff, you live in this amazing bubble here at Lakefield, and it is incredible. But I want you to understand what you have here, the values you hold true, what we witness from the outside looking in, is unfortunately not universal in our world. You have some amazing gifts. And so I just want to act as a bit of a mirror for you right now and just reflect a few things back to you that I see as extraordinary, and things that we will use as a crew and as an organization as we journey around the moon. And just to touch on that briefly, in about a year and a half, myself and 3 Americans will climb into a spacecraft, and we will launch off this planet, and we will leave it, spend about a day in orbit around Earth, and then we will leave it and we'll go around the moon. And we're doing that in pursuit of excellence, to inspire the world to do great things. There's a few things that are remarkable about this. We haven't gone to the moon in over 50 years, but this time when we go back, it is not just an American mission, it is an international mission. There's a Canadian on this mission, In very small part due to me, but in reality, what it's due to is the fact that that leadership made space for a genius across our country and Canada to rise up and contribute our gifts and bring enormous benefits, so much value to that collaboration that a Canadian is going on this mission with them is extraordinary. And we're making room for more partners, and there'll be more international astronauts flying to the moon this time to go back. And these are some of the things that I see here at Lakefield. You have an important perspective. Diversity is a strength. Not everybody understands this, but if you look around the world right now, you know that some of the things that concern us are people not working together. But you know it in your heart. These people that you love are from all around the world. We don't have a people problem in the world. We have extraordinary people in the world, but we have our leadership problems. You understand this diversity. This is an important gift that you will need to share with the world as you move forward. I've watched you curate leadership skills. I've watched as you go from grade 9s where you see all the problems and you're quick to point out the issues to grade 12s who are leading and fixing and digging into creating solutions. Leadership values that you have that I listen to around our dinner table. You listen, you've learned to listen to others. You understand that leaders don't have all the answers, but they know how to reach into a group and collaborate. It's an important skill we need you to share with the world. In this experience you've had here, you've been taught to create solutions. I know you've been challenged at some point, you've had failures along the way. I tell you, our training team, as we get ready to go to the moon, will ensure that we fail multiple times between now and our launch, in hopes that we will find all of the failures and that we will still be breathing. So we know how to overcome them, so we'll still be breathing 10 days later when we land in the Pacific Ocean. So by having this focus of creating solutions, embracing failure, learning to move through it with persistence, you are embodying something that we call our core culture in the astronaut corps, the International Astronaut Corps. We actually spend a lot of time talking about these things to make sure that we have an open culture of communication, embracing these failures so that we survive. Outdoors every day, something I've always loved about this place. The things you learn by being outside are incredible. The challenges you take on the golf trip. I know it wasn't easy, but that I embrace that. I think that is such an amazing thing. It's what I love about something, even though I don't know each and every one of you, it's something I know about you now. You took on those challenges and it's made you a better person. I recently was invited by a group of Indigenous elders to go on a vision quest. It's an extraordinary experience. I spent 4 days in the woods in solitude, fasting, no water, no food. I'm still learning. But I can share some of what I took away from that experience. If you ever get the chance to do it, I highly recommend you do it. But if you don't want to go 4 days without food and water alone in the woods, something that became very obvious to me was this. There's 3 things. Maybe you write them down tonight before you go to bed, and remind yourself of these later in life. But gratitude. As thirsty as I was in those woods, I was grateful to Mother Earth for what she provides for us. I heard Anne-Marie talk about gratitude earlier. But gratitude is about accepting where you are and being grateful for what you have. There's a really cool story from the Apollo 13 mission. This is a mission where 3 astronauts are on the way to walk on the moon. That is their goal. They trained for it for years. They're ready to go. They're on their way, and something catastrophic happens with their spacecraft. There's an explosion. And their mission goes from trying to walk on the moon to just trying to survive. And it's an extraordinary story of how people created a solution. But there's a moment in that story where the flight director, Gene Kranz, he's being inundated by everybody telling him what is wrong with the spacecraft. And he stops everybody and he reframes it and he says, what have we got left on the spacecraft that is good? And that is how they created a solution, and those 3 humans returned. And that is the perspective of gratitude. What have you got that's good? And what can you create with that? So that's the first one, gratitude. The other one that became obvious to me is create happiness in your life. Create happiness in other people's lives. And finally, contribute your gifts. There's no happiness without contributing your gifts. They share a story with me, some ancient wisdom that beaver represents this wisdom. The beaver has extraordinary gifts. Beaver's gifts are chewing trees. It's extraordinary. There's a little animal, rodent looking animal, can walk up to a tree and chew it down. Have any of you tried to chew a tree down? These are extraordinary gifts. And the ancient wisdom is that if the beaver fails to use its teeth will grow, because it's always wearing the teeth down, they grow very quickly. Its teeth will grow and the animal will die. I'm not saying if you don't use your gifts, you will die. But I am saying if you don't use your gifts in this world, we won't be happy. So people often ask me about work-life balance, and I think this idea of the beaver using its gifts to contribute to its environment, supporting other animals, what it builds, is important for you to recognize. Work-life balance is important, but what is really important is happiness. And remembering that if you don't contribute these gifts, you won't find your happiness. You were given these gifts for a reason. I wanted to point out to you today that the reason it's important for me to stand here is because I believe the world actually is in dire need of what you have. I truly believe that. As astronauts, we sort things into categories. We sort things into nominal, off-nominal. We sort the off-nominal into things that will affect our mission, our ability to accomplish our mission, and then the really important category is stuff that will kill us. In the world today, I'm looking around and I'm sorting things in my brain of things that are critical, things that will kill us. A divided world will kill us. As you go forward, I want you to think about what you've learned here. I want you to be immensely proud of yourself. We are all immensely proud of you. I want you to celebrate this victory. It's a great win. You've done something incredible. I want you to do those three things. I want you to build a happy future. I want you to demonstrate gratitude in this world. I want you to contribute your gifts. In closing, I have great concerns when I look around this world, when I think about our collective spaceship, our spaceship. But to reframe it like the flight director did, to look at it from the positive, what do we have on the spacecraft that is good? And I would present to you, we have you.
We move into the awards portion of the ceremony today. I would kindly ask that all students who are called upon to receive an award, please proceed to the front of the tent, what we like to call at Lakefield, a dignified jog, so as to help keep the schedule on track today. Students called upon, please come up to the front by way of the left side of the tent, where you will then proceed to the front to receive your award. I now call upon Dean Van Dalward, Assistant Head of Learning, to come forward to present students who have earned academic proficiency awards.
Fairly anxiety inducing because I feel like everybody who's going to initially receive the award is sitting a long way away from the front right now and not paying a lot of attention. So I will begin by saying that we're gonna begin the presentation with pins to students who have earned scholar with distinction status. Before calling students forward, let me take a moment to define both the terms Ontario Scholar and Scholar with Distinction. In the province of Ontario, students in grade 12 achieve Ontario Scholar status if they have earned an aggregate of 480 percentage points or more in the top 6 grade 12 courses they take. For all students at LCS, Scholar with Distinction status is achieved if they've earned an overall average of 85% or higher. We'll proceed through our grades through 9 students, and then we will recognize the graduating students a little later in the program. Steve will help with the presentations of these awards. So I'm going to begin with grade 9. Students who have earned Scholar with Distinction status, and I would ask those students to come forward as I call their names. And I'm also going to ask you to please hold your applause until we conclude the recipients in each class. For the grade 9 Scholar with Distinction status, the following students are asked to come forward and receive pin from the scheme. Viviana Aguilar. No. Liv. Maddie Arbo. Rahina Arcea Marguria. Alwa Peacock Marin. Cohen Burgess. Aiden Chan. Kevin Chen. Rupert Creasy. Veda Kana. Isabella Daura Estrada. Ray Demora. Olivia Desi. Blake Dobson. Sky Harris Storks. Will Hera. Alex Colaboratko. Henry Hu. Melody Wong. Vanessa Hobbs. Stella Johnson. Ari Kennedy. Navia Khan. Brandon Lamb. Audrey Lett. Daniel Lee. Melody Lee. Dale Liu. Dawn Liu. Demi Liu. Valerie Lowe. Myers Mabonda. James McCall. Molly McCullough. Dexter Ing. Thomas Noon. Blake Orr. Max Peach. Jenna Quinn. Norris Ward. Laura Ross. Neil Shaw. Sequoia Sublier. Mason Taylor. Colson Tully. Kari Vandermeer. Catherine Wong-Ton. Lily Wilkinson. Emily Yu. Anshang Zhao. Fiona Zhao. And Nina Zhao. And to the student who has earned top perform for highest averaging grade 9, Sohan Josh. From here, it's not that dignified. The grade 10s follow the distinction list. You compare grade 10s. Libby Ambler, Kate Anstutz, Bella Barr, Amelia Bauman, Josh Beasley, Oakley Beausejour, Lori Begandish, Yasmina Beventura, Kira Bledsoe, Maya Brocklehurst, Shannon Burgess McFadden, Aaliyah Cardenas, Vera Casey, Liz Chan, Evelyn Chen, Hanson Chen, AJ Cooper, Callum Couch, Louisa Dalglish, Claudia Dumont Milon, Chloe Desjardins, Sam Dickey, Arthur Dressler, Lasse Dressler, August June, Griff Duncan, Akea Jean, Hannah Elberati, Ella Field Lament, Lexi Frank, Victor Graf von Puttenberg, Mia Gray, Mon Gupta, Sophie Aver, Bev Harrison, Emily Hogg, Oliver Holmes, Bokyung Jang, Yana Karen, Ben Lavely, Cooper Lawson, Nate Levesque, Holly Levesque, David Lee, Lily Manning, Stella McAloon, Judd McGowan, Aiden McLemon, Willis Meng, Mei-Ling Miller, Yoshi Miyakawa, Claire Merla, Ava Munch, Ilya Nanji, Suri Go, Titus Mbueko, Amelie Norgard, Ethan Ong, Elena Pauser, Danica Pete, Paige Pedersen, Peyton Pedersen, Lily Potow, Audrey Reeves, Julius Ranking, Abby Robertson, Regina Rosado Rodriguez, Gabriel Roti, Verano Santoyo, Alex Shen, Andrew Sedaris, Alex Smith, Aiden Sumner, Edna Sung, Hirataka Tanaka, Angelina Tang, Casper von Hardenberg, Justin Wei, Jane White, Albina Wong, Anise Wong, Yukon Ji, Aiden Yi, and Daisy Jean. And the student who is achieved top performing grade 10 is Graham Armstrong. At grade 11, scholar with 16 minutes. Ali April. Nate Andras, Nora Appleby, Miriam Atiani, Justin O, Alex Femrose, Sarah Bender, Clancy Bevan, Liam Blackshaw Brown, Gabby Brown, Cyrus Chen, Alice Chen, Harper Christie Allard, Charlotte Coates, Rayan Deriga, Olivia Desjardins, Alden Desi, Cassia Diddick, Natalie Douglas, Ainsley Driossi, Sam Eisenwebney, Alistair Fraser, Uma Freeland Nardone, Baltazar Gana, Mikel Gandarias Lorenzi, Lucas Garcia Alonso, Leon Biao, Aurelia Geloso, Shima Gomez, Stephanie Grossman Rubio, Anna Brutus, Pablo Guzman, Claire Hamilton, Ashley Hansen, Caitlin Hansen, Dave Harrington, Morgan Harris Storks, Paula Helwig, Maureen Pugnet, Kenzie Hogan, Jason Wong, Nicole Wong, Justin Weed, Jacob Jan, Anthony Jin, Marla Kafer, Aiden Khan, Layla Kembar, Zod Khan, Caleb Lane, Charles Lenwet, Selena Lee, Abby Lush, Charlie Marshall, Bradley McCutcheon, Owen McIntyre, Anna McDonald, Claire Melville, Ivy Morgan, Luke Newbigging, Kiho Okazawa, Jane Orr, Avery Hackman, Katia Pamanes Fernandez, Fiona Pizzari, Will Peach, Serena Pedersen, Ella Pollitt, Arena Coase, Dylan Rasmus, Willow Roberts, Maud Rose Craig, Linus Rudzinski, Haley Schwarzentruber, Greta Seehausen, Millie Shadgett, Dara Shabazz, Nathan Smith, Charlie Stanley, Nick Tatinger, Dominique Teal, Doha Uzel, Tamara von Ochten, Thomas Wong, Hayden Welch, Vera Wen, Tom Wu, and Robin Younger. And the student who achieved top performer grade 11 is Natalie Neal. Back to you, Ms. Key.
Thank you, Dean. I would now like to ask our athletic director, Adam Ross, to come forward to present the Milligan Award for Athletics. Students, please stop for a photo after receiving your award. There. The Milligan Award recognizes the most outstanding athletes in their graduating year. This year's recipients are Devin Hansen and Tierney Cater. Thank you, Adam. I would now like to invite our arts director, Sarah Young, to come forward to present two significant arts prizes. The Most Outstanding Artist Award is presented in recognition of an artist who has demonstrated an exceptional degree of excellence in their graduating year. We are honored to announce this year's recipient, Isabel Kim. I would now like to invite Ms. Morency to help Ms. Young present the Peter Daglish Art Award. The citation for the award reads, in recognition of their father's affection for Lakefield College School, his love of the arts, and his commitment to nurturing and supporting promising young artists, Jordy Daglish, class of '89, and Kim Daglish Abel have established the Peter Daglish Art Award funded by an endowed gift made in 2014. The purpose of the Peter Daglish Art Award is to inspire, encourage, and recognize artistic talent at Lakefield College School by promoting promising young artists and their future contributions to art in Canada and beyond. I would now like to congratulate Max Wenmore Venegas for being this year's recipient. Young just unveiled the work that we will be adding to our beautiful collection. Congratulations, Max. I would now like to invite our Assistant Head Community, Vicki Boomgard, and Director of Student Leadership, Pete O'Grady, to the front to introduce our Duke of Edinburgh Gold recipients.
Good morning. Just a reminder, students, as you accept your award, please make sure to smile for Mr. Spivey as he takes your picture with Ms. Key and Mr. O'Grady. Yesterday, we presented awards to students who achieved their bronze and silver Duke of Edinburgh awards. Today, we have the great honor of recognizing two students who have done the very difficult task of achieving this award at the gold level. At the gold level, students have to take part in an expedition of 4 days or more, perform a minimum of 90 hours of community service, participate in a hobby or skill of personal interest, participate in a sports program for 18 months, and take part in a residential project where they live and interact with other young people in a different community. The students who earn this award will receive an invitation to attend an award ceremony with a member of the royal family. This year, our Duke of Edinburgh Award Gold Award recipients are Griffin Mabonda and Max Wedmore. Last night, we recognized our students who made an extraordinary commitment to the service of others this year. Unfortunately, we made a mistake. This morning, I would like to apologize to Jonah Papp for this mistake. At this time, I would like to officially recognize Jonah as a grade 12 student who completed the most service learning awards this year and to ask him to come forward to receive this award. Jonah completed an impressive total of 442 hours of service learning this year. Congratulations.
Thank you, Vicki and Pete. I now call upon Janice Greenshields, our Assistant Head of Sustainability, to join Vicki to introduce our Grade, School, and Values Awards and this year's recipients.
Okay. The Fred Page Higgins Award is presented to the grade 9 students who, by persistent, conscientious daily application, has given maximum effort to academic work. As a result of their efforts, this student has seen tremendous growth over the course of the year. This student is widely involved, seeking to take advantage of the opportunities available at LCS. Sohan Joshi. And as Sohan is coming to the front to receive his award, I would like to invite Fred Gaby from the class of 1975 to join Ms. P in presenting the Gaby Award. The Gaby Award is presented to the students in grade 9 who persistently displayed courage and puts forth a maximum effort in all pursuits: academic, athletic, artistic, and community. This student is a leader in the classroom and beyond as a result of their effort to be unceasingly honest, courteous, and to uphold the traditions of the school. Jenna Quinn.
The Junior Edson Pease Prize is presented to a student in grade 10 who has shown consistently and increasingly a contribution to school life. Through their participation in house, community, and spirit events, the student has helped to create a positive environment. This is a student who has emerged over the course of the year. The student's contribution has grown and is indicative of a new enthusiasm, confidence, and/or commitment to the value inherent of being an active part of school life. Audrey Reeves. The Jean Ketchum Prize is presented to the student completing grade 10 who has shown all-around excellence and promise. This student is a strong academic who contributes to all areas of the school: athletics, arts, service, and community. This student is a leader in the classroom and beyond, and is
and as a result of their efforts to be unceasingly honest, courteous, and to uphold the traditions of the school. Hannah Elberati.
The Stephen Thompson Prize is awarded to the grade 11 student who, in the opinion of the teaching staff, takes on responsibilities which may cut across personal interests, works hard, and has developed their abilities to the utmost. This student demonstrated the most growth as a result of their commitment to life at Lakefield. This growth is general, academic, social, athletic, artistic. Ali Abel. The Harmon Award is presented to the grade 11 student who most excelled in schoolwork, games, deportment, strength of character, and leadership. This student is leading the class and has used these opportunities to help make Lakefield better. These strengths are seen as a result of how the student has committed to involvement in life at LCS. Alex Benrose.
The Senior S&P's Prize is presented to a senior who has shown consistently and increasingly their growth as a whole student. The student has made a consistent effort to make growth in the classroom and has remained steadfast in their participation in house, community, and spirit events. This student has helped to create a positive environment and, despite the challenges of being a grad, has grown over the course of the year. This student's contribution has grown and is indicative of the developing enthusiasm, confidence, and/or commitment to the value inherent of being an active part of school life. And Anya McDonald. John Perlman Martin Sybil Prize. This prize is presented to an outstanding all-round student in their graduating year. This student is a high academic standing, has made significant contributions to a co-curricular endeavor, is a consistently good citizen, is a leader, and is influentially involved in a well-rounded Lakefield life. Tierney Cater.
We will now continue with our school awards. We begin with the Junior Grove Prize. This is presented to the new student in grade 9 or 10 who has joined in the life of the school with the greatest enthusiasm. This student is involved in community events, volunteers time to make the school a better place, and has helped to contribute to the life of the school through participation in house, community, and spirit events. Geronimo Santorelli. The Nellis Prize is presented to a student who, in the eyes of the staff, has shown a persistent effort and a determination to succeed. This student has overcome an obstacle. This award is available to a student in any grade. Riley Day.
Jean and Winder Smith Award. This prize was endowed by the Board of Governors when Mr. Smith retired in 1964. To be awarded to a student who has made a broad contribution to the life of the school. This contribution is unique amongst peers and may be seen in a unique project, an elevation of an existing group or club, or through unique leadership offered that broadens opportunities for many other students. This contribution may be seen to impact arts, athletics, academics, house, for the community as a whole. This award is available to a student in any grade. Lillian Yang. The J.R. Anderson Award, given in honor of Mr. Anderson's retirement as a teacher to commemorate the 21st Olympiad at Montreal. This award is given to the senior student, grade 11 or 12, who most consistently shares any skills with the younger student, so as to positively aid in the development of that younger individual. Devin Hansen.
The HM Silver Jubilee Award is endowed by the Church of the Holy Trinity, Philadelphia, and the British Society of Philadelphia in celebration of Her Majesty the Queen's Silver Jubilee. The citation is based on the royal family's observations of characteristics most admired by the Queen. It reads, shall be awarded to the senior students in grade 11 or 12 who best combines the qualities of being sensitive to the feelings of others, protective of those who are weaker, courteous to peers and staff, and sufficiently courageous to accept the promptings of their conscience. Max Wenborn Venegas. The Senior Growth Prize is awarded to a new grade 11 or 12 student who has most fully embraced life at Lakefield. This student found academic growth, has committed to active involvement in the co-curricular programs, and is also involved in school life. Through their presence at spirit events, the contribution to service activities, or some other new initiative, they have done their best to make Lakefield better than to leave Lakefield better than they found it. Lena Tata.
We will conclude this year's major awards presentation with our 8 values prizes. We begin with the Columbia Award representing our inclusive, caring community value. This prize awarded to a senior who has demonstrated a commitment to the community at Lakefield. This commitment has helped to make Lakefield a better place. This could be seen through initiation of involvement in a significant project, or it could be seen more generally through the way they consistently approach others and each day. This person is connected to the idea of empathy, connection, and dignity. Charlie Ward. The Grow Roots Prize representing our development of the whole person value. This prize is awarded annually to a grad who has been a 4-year student at Lakefield. This prize recognizes the one student who is deemed to have exhibited the most transformative change during their time at LCS. This change may be seen across multiple measures: academic success, co-curricular involvement, community contributions, embracing school values. As part of this prize, the student will choose a species of tree to be planted at LCS in their name. Charlie's son.
The Jack Matthews Humanitarian Award representing our service value. This is given to a senior student chosen by the head of school who has shown concern for the feelings of others, has strived to help others, and has been of service to the school and community. In short, a student who has been a good example of the golden rule, to treat others as you would like others to treat you. This can be seen in their commitment to action in our community and/or through their efforts to impact our community beyond Lakefield. This prize is not simply the accumulation of hours, but a commitment to helping build community through daily life. Happy reads. I would now like to invite the mother of Brent Dad's class of 2020 to join us to present the next award. The LCX Grad Prize for Growth and Character, representing our individuality value. This prize goes to a graduating student in our learning support program who has maintained a strong academic standing while finishing their final year with hard work and perseverance. This student has made a strong contribution to the overall life of the school community, while also demonstrating kindness, compassion, and support for their fellow students. This prize has been made possible through the generosity of the parents of LCX graduate, Brent Dad's. Hugh Engelhart. Thank you, Chiron.
The Monty Bull Award representing our joy value. The citation reads, there was once a growth student whose quality was his love of life. He lived with a refreshing enthusiasm for whatever action life brought his way. He joined this action with a smile, not caring whether he would win or lose. He inspired others with his generous spirit. He gave his life that others might live as he had enjoyed so much living. The student in our graduating class who best demonstrates these qualities is Julius Degen. The Ondaatje Foundation Award representing our learning value. Awarded annually by the faculty and head of school to a senior student who has done the most while at the school to encourage love of scholarship through either personal attitude or achievement or through assistance to others. This student should be of strong academic standing and have made an effort to help others in the pursuit of academic success. The student might actively tutor others, organize tutoring for others, or be a significant academic influence in the house and in class. A co-vote to one.
The Trustees Prize, representing our environmental responsibility value. This prize is awarded to the student who makes the greatest contribution to efforts of sustainability through formal contributions to committees, clubs, groups, and through efforts to model behavior that supports a sustainable way of living. This student has helped to influence the thinking or actions of others. As an example. The Whitney Prize, representing our trust value. This student's greatest talent is for friendship, leaving everyone feeling better for having known them. This student shows respect for others and in turn earns the respect and trust of students and staff as a result of their showing moral strength, character, and consistently generous behavior. Nezo Mendez.
Thank you, Janice and Vicky. That concludes the grade, school, and values awards portion of our agenda. Before we get to recognizing our graduating class today, I want to get to one final award we have left. The award we still need to present this year is the long esteemed Paper House Championship. So with that, here is how the 2022-23 school year concluded for our paper houses. In fourth place, 13,065 points, Poland. In third place, with 16,875 points, Belgrade. And this year's Paper House champion, after an unbelievable performance at K-Rod Regatta Day and Gladiator Day, with a shocking 21,290 points. The Beaver. Captains, please come to the front to receive the plaque on behalf of the board. This time, we would like to express our sincere appreciation and thanks to all members of staff who are leaving Lakefield to pursue other opportunities. We look forward to recognizing them at our end of year staff celebration, and I ask that you please hold your applause until the end of the list. Elias Abud, Jack Baron Sluga, Teresa Butler Porter, Devin Cole, Simon Crawley, Emma Drennan, Ryan Lynn, Andrew McNichol, Sarah Mayo, Dee Serkin, Maggie Thompson. We wish them every success in their new endeavors. Runza, assistant head, to introduce our graduates, and Shane Smythe, associate head and class of '96. Please come forward to present each grad with their alumni tie or scarves as they receive their diplomas. Before we begin, I'm very pleased to announce this year's recipient of the Governor General's Medal for being top of form, with the top academic average in the class. Congratulations, Sharon Degen.
At this time, we ask that all parents, friends, and guests remain at their seats. We request that you do not come forward to take photos. If you wish to stand up and take a photograph of your seat, and really keep all the aisles free and clear in order to allow graduates easy access to the front and to allow space at the side as they line up around us, forming a line. I would ask our graduates to please come directly to Mr. Smythe, and then we're down to your spot as we caught this yesterday. Adam Armstrong, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with distinction. Mateo Babucki, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with distinction. Alice Degen, Tori Bird, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with distinction. Patrick Oren, Ontario Scholar. Mortana Muhaja, Bert Foster, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with distinction. Noah Bradburn, Ontario Scholar. Maddie Brock, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with distinction. Rosalie Bujold, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with distinction. Dakota Burton, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with distinction. Frank Kai, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with distinction. Esme Campbell, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with distinction. Tierney Cater, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with distinction. Esme Chapman Korchinski, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with distinction. Eno Chen, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with distinction. Bosco Choi, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with distinction. Simon Coates, Ontario Scholar. Matthew Collier, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with distinction. Amy Couch, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with distinction. Charlie Crane, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with distinction. Megan Crawley, Tony Kersakalosa, Riley Day, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with distinction. Jerry Dye, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with distinction. Akala O'Neill, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with distinction. Julius Degen, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with distinction. Madison Delamia, Ontario Scholar. Mia Duden, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with distinction. Brandon Dunford. Matea Alasua Cajigas, Ontario Scholar. Hugh Engelhardt, Ontario Scholar. Amelie Fenton, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with distinction. Sarah Ferguson, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with distinction. Ben Freeman, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with distinction. Audrey Garcha, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with distinction. Aurora Gibb, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with distinction. Sierra Gilfillan, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with distinction. Alfred Gold, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with distinction. Jackson Hall, Ontario Scholar. Devin Hanson, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with distinction. Will Harrington, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with distinction. Vincent Key, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with distinction. Charlie Hernandez, Ontario Scholar. Emil Hernandez. Oscar Hui, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with distinction. Tyler Jervis, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with distinction. Amanda Jin, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with distinction. Bradley Kang, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with distinction. Tasha Payne, Ontario Scholar. Bronca Keel, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with distinction. Abdul Khan, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with distinction. Isabel Kim, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with distinction. Darren Lamb. Peter Lett, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with distinction. Emily Young, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with distinction. Leo Yoon, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with distinction. Amanda McDonald, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with distinction. Abdul Nanak, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with distinction. Liam Manning. Ava Mason, Ontario Scholar. Griffin Wanda, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with distinction. Matthew McCall. Miles May, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with distinction. Annie Merrifield, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with distinction. Luke Murdoch, Ontario Scholar. Ken Murray, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with Distinction. Evelina Nazavalova, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with Distinction. Maya Norton, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with Distinction. Ethan O'Neill. Donald Cock, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with Distinction. Amelia Penn, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with Distinction. Abby Reeves, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with Distinction. Sadie Rubin, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with Distinction. David Ruizabello, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with Distinction. Jaden Rubarelia, Ontario Scholar. Maddie Rutherford, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with Distinction. Rita Shabazz, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with Distinction. Brian Shamji, Ontario Scholar. Emerson Sheward. Amy Shin, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with Distinction. Daphne Singh, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with Distinction. Noah Siglair, Ontario Scholar. Ben Steinrod, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with Distinction. Cole Steinhurst, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with Distinction. Charlie Sun, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with Distinction. Joyce Howe, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with Distinction. Olivia Thompson, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with Distinction. Sudan Chan, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with Distinction. Bill Ting, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with Distinction. Jack Vanderpoos, Ontario Scholar. Vanessa Onega, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with Distinction. Locke Wag, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with Distinction. Abby Ward, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with Distinction. Charlie Ward, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with Distinction. Taya Webster, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with Distinction. Krista Weinreich, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with Distinction. Max Wimberg, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with Distinction. Lillian Young, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with Distinction. Cia, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with Distinction. F.A. Yenslick, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with Distinction. Judy Yu, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with Distinction. Stephen Tom, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with Distinction. Rizal Wu, Ontario Scholar and LCS Scholar with Distinction.
Thank you, Mr. Rundle. I would now like to present co-head students, Abby Reeves and Rick Monda, with their alumni watches, if made on behalf of the alumni of Lakefield College School in recognition of their leadership this year. I would now like to call upon Rick and Abby to make their final address.
Good afternoon, everyone. We would like to start off by thanking all of our families for making the trip to be here today. Whether it was a long plane ride from across the world or a short drive in from Peterborough, we're so grateful to be surrounded by such a loving and supportive people.
We want to thank all the people involved in setting up this outdoor venue for us. Not only have a special closing ceremony, the celebration of the class of 23 put us together here today. And last but certainly not least, we have to show our appreciation to the weather for holding up today. After a few rainy days this week.
At the start of the school year, when we were the only students on campus, the grads stood together in the chapel to light the candles that had been passed to us from last year's projects. This was a truly special moment for all of us and a genuine passing of the torch. But there was one sentiment shared that evening that stood out amongst the rest.
Mr. Runza encouraged us all to enjoy the moment because before we knew it, we'd be gathered in the gym singing Land of Hope and Glory to our school. And we hope our performance last night didn't disappoint. Well, this year has been so many things we hoped it would be. Exciting, fun-filled, and memorable. We didn't expect it to be quite so.
This is the first year in which COVID has hardly affected our community at all. While this is something to celebrate simply because we've returned to relative normalcy, it's also a testament to the spirit, enthusiasm, and energy that you all demonstrate. Before this year, none of us students had ever experienced an entirely normal Lakefield year. And yet, together, we've brought back old traditions, introduced new ones, and helped our school get better. Every single staff and student sitting under this is that. Although we are facing our latest pandemic in the form of the buzzcut epidemic, we're confident to see the material itself.
This year has not always gone the way we planned. Who expected K-Rod to run while the sun was still out, or for Gladiator Day inflatables to show up a week late? But at the same time, who expected that Let It Go would be the song of the year, or that Miss P would pull out a t-shirt cannon on Regatta Day? Not everything unexpected is bad. Thanks to your resilience, your flexibility, and your unwavering enthusiasm, we've proved this year that the unexpected is nothing Lakefield can't handle.
We love to call ourselves a school like no other, but what is it that makes the Grove so special? Our alumni come to mind with some of the highest engagement rates across the nation. Our outstanding campus that you're joining today can be aligned with this, but in reality, it starts with our students. You are the ones waking up every day and choosing to fill your timetables with courses, clubs, teams, leadership opportunities, and more.
The grads this year have been incredible, but nothing could have been possible without the participation and engagement that you all possess. Contributing to what makes Lakefield truly like no other.
No matter where you find yourself next year, whether it be backpacking through Europe, continuing your education elsewhere, or right back here, we wish you the best of luck.
This can be a bittersweet moment for most, but remember that once you join this community, never really leave. And that's whether you want to or not. Despite the sadness that comes with saying goodbye, we hope you will look back on our time together and see nothing but happiness and remember what an amazing year we've had together.
A year full of dodgeball spirit events, house soccer league games, and a Grove City pop-up.
A year full of dancing, of plays, and of games, and even an OXA tennis goal.
A year with a new ice machine and a soft serve ice cream machine. Make that a half year of those, but we still appreciate them.
A year full of North Front grown breeds in the dining hall and 6 new chickens not in the dining hall.
A year with not one, but 2 new houses, Ross and front. We can't believe that only happened this year.
A year full of chapel talks, which means a year full of tears, laughter, and making memories.
And of course, a year full of friendship and the happiest times together.
So it is bittersweet for us to say this, but this is your 2022-2023 co-ed students officially signing off.
We would now like to pass it over to your new co-ed students, Jamie.
Good morning, everyone. First of all, Jen and I would like to take this opportunity to thank Abby and Griffin. Their insight into the role of a co-ed student and their leadership acumen has helped us understand what it means to be a co-ed at LCS. This year has been one of tremendous growth. After a year of uncertainty around our school's recovering community post-COVID, the tenacity of you, the graduating class, and the precedent you set this year helped us return the growth to what makes it so truly special. A group of 425 students unified.
All of the undergrads knew from the second we stepped on campus, seeing your smiling faces with the signs saying, "Welcome to the Grove." Your class would inject a fresh wave of excitement and energy into the school year, leaving an indelible mark on the entire campus. Personally, as a grade 11 class, you've shown the class of 2024 what it means to be a leader and set the bar extremely high for success next year. This year has also given us so many things to look back on. We remember being here in these exact spots, looking forward to these new opportunities of the new houses of Ross and Perron and our first all gender house of Holbrook and so much more. We remember the incredible success of the Great Day Christmas party and the Big Sister, Big Brother Campus Fun Day.
We remember back to a very rainy can working session and a very popular grade 11 holiday party. And especially recently, we remember back to an albeit smoky Gladiator Day put on by grade 12s and their consistent enthusiasm throughout Regatta Day. It takes a lot to make these memories happen. We'd like to acknowledge that every magical moment over the course of this year could not have been possible without the support of the faculty and staff of LCS. Please understand the entire student body appreciates the effort that you give to give us a high school experience that we will never forget.
Class is prepared to take the next step in the Lakefield community and is looking forward to the opportunity to attempt to lead the school the amazing way that the class of 2023 has already done this year. So although we cannot begin to grasp what Lakefield will look like without these students, amazing grads and all the other students who won't be joining us in the fall, we are grateful to everything you have given to this school, and we can't wait to see what the next year has in store for us all.
It is now our great pleasure to introduce the class of 2024. Ali Abel, Nate Andras, Nora Appleby, Mary Montiani, Justin Wu, Carla Baskin, Alex Demrose, Sarah Bender,
Betsy Bevan, Neil Blackshaw Brown, Jackie Brown, Max Canelon, Alice Chen, Cyrus Chen, Parker Cristiano, Joe Coates,
Monroe Spray, Rayon Derridio, Doc Delamere, Olivia Desjardins, Alton Desi, Cassia Yiddick, Natalie Douglas, Adrian Ainsley Riosi,
Sam Eisenberg, Kenneth Gilbermo, Oliver Finlayson, Carter Fleming, Alistair Fraser, William Freeman Nardone, Sebastian Foch, Balthazar Gama,
Marco Candelas Lorenzi, Miguel Candelas Lorenzi, Tay Garbutt, Lucas Garcia Alonso, Snigdha Gakaparthi, Leon Gal, Aurelia Geloso, Shimo Gomez,
Rick Song, Akil Graham, Stephanie Grossman Rubio, Ina Grotus, Pablo Guzman, Barrett Hamilton, Ashley Hansen, Caitlin Hansen,
Gabe Harrington, Morgan Harris, Juan Elliott, Maureen Bonnet, Mackenzie Bogan, Ashley Howard, Jason Wong, Nicole Wong,
Justin Lee, Jacob John, Artie John, Bethany Jim, Marla Faber, Aiden Kane, Layla Kambar, Sarah Khan.
Caleb Lane, Charles Len Woods, Gabby Lebeck, Serena Lee, Abby Lush, Charlie Marshall, Zoe Martin, Bradley McCutcheon,
Owen McIntyre, Ethan McCormick, Dan McDonald, Claire Melville, Ivan Morgan, Kirk Muir, Tessa Burning, Zebby Neville,
Newbeginning, Hug Noyden, Kiho Okasawa, Jane Moore, Avery Packman, Katya Evidence Fernandez, Fiona Sorry, Will Beach,
Serena Patterson, Owen Pumpkin, Bella Collins, Marina Gross, Zaid Kurgan, Dylan Rasmus, Dylan Roberts, Matt Rubizat,
Lime Truczynski, Stanley Schwarzenberger, Greta Seehausen, Billy Scheidett, Zara Shabazz, Nathan Smith, Logan Snowbank, Matthew Smith, Scott.
Charlie Stanley, Nancy Turner, Lewis Powell, John Taylor, Donald Smith, Bob Thompson, Joe Zell, Samara Compton.
Slang, Winston White, Aiden Welch, Vera Lynn, Dale Wendell, Thomas Swing, Natalie Young, and Robin.
As the students are bidding farewell to one another, their famous hotline. It's my pleasure to invite everyone to join us for a barbecue lunch on the lawn to your right. Please note, to align with our sustainability initiatives, all food, cups, plates, and cutlery are biodegradable. They can be placed in any green bin provided. In addition, for our graduates and their families, the slideshow will begin at 2 o'clock in the theater, followed by dessert and coffee in the theater foyer. Congratulations to all of our students, and particularly to our graduates with that 2023. And thank you for joining us today. And now I wish to proclaim the 2022-2023 school year closed.